What's up, everybody? Good morning. So, clearly I've been working on the house, the roof. I'm working my way this way, so roof's almost done. Hopefully you should be able to see the finished video on Monday. But and I've had a lot of time to think, a lot of self-reflecting, and all of that stuff, just being out here working and everything. And I went to town and I had to get some gas for the generator so I can continue to work this morning, and some things happened and it really got me thinking. And things have happened for a while now, and there's just a lot going on. And I don't know, I think the best thing for myself and the best thing I could do for me mentally and everything is just get off YouTube. And I'll get back into all this and everything. But so pretty much over the years, as the channel has gotten bigger and bigger, it used to be very much so of I guess personal. People like me for me. People would I guess respect me for who I am, just all those type of things where I felt human. I felt like an actual human. And over the time, I felt less like a human and less like a human, and I felt like I was just a character to some people. I'm just a TV show, to some people. I'm just a number to some people. I'm just a famous person to some people. I don't think I'm famous, but some people do. And I just became not a human in people's eyes. And I think people forget that I'm literally just a dude trying to live my life, and it just happens that my life gets put on the internet because one day I was dumb enough to put my life on the internet, and then for whatever reason it started to take off, and I turned it into a business move where I didn't want to work your 9-to-5 jobs. I didn't want to work corporate. I didn't want to do anything like that. I got tired of working with bands on the road, and I'm smart enough of a person to realize there's money to be made, and there's a lot of money out there in the YouTube world. Why not get a little portion for myself? So I turned it into a career, and it's been the absolute best thing for me, and it's been the absolute worst thing for me. So it just became a thing where haters out there would, and this is not all about haters or anything, but it's just part of it. Haters out there didn't see me as an actual person. They just saw me as like a TV show or a character, something fake, and they would just sit there and just bash and bash and bash. And they forget that I'm human. I have feelings. I have emotions, and I care about what people think. It used to be a thing where I'd comment back to every single person that commented on one of the videos, but it became so much so that I wasn't able to do that. That alone's a full-time job now, and I just can't do it, which sucks. But it became a thing where you would just see nothing. Well, I would see nothing but bad comments. There was a million good comments, but the bad comments I would focus on, and it became bad. That's part of it. And then part of it became where people just used me for my name. They didn't see me, I guess, as a human and care about what I thought and how hard I worked to get to where I'm at. They were just like, ooh, the Crockers. This is how I could help myself. And, people got to the point where I feel like they didn't want to get to know me. They wanted to get to know the numbers and what they could do for themselves. And that sucks as well, because it's like, I just feel like I'm a dude that wants to get to know people, and with my life being put on the internet, I can get to know people that I never would have met ever. And it sucks when people kind of just use you for just your name or your um, you know, I can't think of it right now, top of my head. Your numbers, uh, your platform is what I'm trying to get at. They just want to use you for your platform to better themselves. It's like, man, I really thought this person thought different of me, and then they just use you for your platform, and that sucks. I've had people try to, get money from me. They think I make $1 million on YouTube. I've had people try to get shout-outs when they don't even talk to me. I've had people, use me and abuse me over and over, and it's like, man, I just wish you wanted to get to know me. I wish you, truly thought of me as a person and not just a number. Well, I told Danielle, and stuff before, and, I've talked to other people and whatnot, and I would definitely love to just not do YouTube anymore. But I've worked way too hard. I've sacrificed more than I would say most people would. And the reason I say that is because I haven't seen a whole lot of people do what I do. And I don't think I'm better than anyone, and I don't think that I've done something that no one else has done. I just personally don't know these people, and I've sacrificed a lot. You guys know that I lived in a tent to try to get where I wanted to be. I have gone for years without electricity and water. Clearly, I would stay at Danielle's house when we started dating and stuff. So I'm not saying I didn't do any of that, but to be on the property that I'm at the time and here and stuff, not having power and water, being out in the sun, I have sacrificed sleep so I could stay up all night editing videos. I have just really put in the work over years and years, and then to have people treat me the way they treat me, it just sucks. But I say all this. Let me take a drink real quick. I say all this not to complain or moan and all this type of stuff or pity party. I'm looking for comments, fishing for good comments about myself. I don't personally care about any of that stuff. I had an awakening, I guess, today, and I went to Tractor Supply whenever I went in town to get gas and getting some feed for the animals, and this guy in front of me had a little package of bolts, and he was telling the cashier or whatever, he's like, I'm putting this on my personal account, not my business account and stuff, and it's just a little pack of bolts. Well, it didn't go through, and we know like pretty much everybody at Tractor Supply, maybe not, I don't know by name, but we were in there all the time, and the girl was just like, I'm sorry, it says you don't have enough funds in there, and these bolts probably would cost like $2, $3 or something, and he's like, oh dang, let me try this, and it didn't work again, and I was like, hey, I can get that for you, don't worry about it. And he's like, what? And like he's kind of like taken back by it. I said, hey, don't worry about it, I'll pay for it real quick. He's like, oh no, I was gonna get some cash back, I need to get on the tollway. And I was like, oh, I can get it, don't worry. He's like, no, I'm gonna go outside, I'm gonna get on the phone, and I'm gonna call, get some money transferred over to it, and it's all good, I promise. But and he's just really flustered by it. So he walks out, I pay for my stuff, and I go out to the parking lot, and I see him in his truck on the phone, and so I load the feed, and I back up so I can drive past him, and he's getting out of his truck, and I roll my window down, and I was like, hey man, you good? Did you get it figured out? If you need a couple bucks, like I truly don't mind. And he said, and this is where it got me. He said, man, I'm gonna be honest with you. And he was very like, it was hard for him to like think. You could tell he was thrown off. And he's like, I'm good. He's like, but I gotta say, this does not happen every day. This doesn't happen often. And he looked at me and he said, in the times right now where the world just seems like it's going absolutely crazy, like I'm just blown away that this happened. And he said, because he was going to walk back in there, so I'm assuming he was got the money or whatever. He's like, this doesn't happen, and I feel like it's crazy that this happened to me, and I don't even know what to say. Like, this world's crazy, and the fact that this happened just made me, think about it. Like, made me, it took me back. And I said, man, I was raised to help somebody no matter what. It's better to give than to receive. And I said, it don't matter who it is. If you can help someone, help them. And I said, also, I think there's way more good in this world than there is bad. And I think that the world focuses on the bad, and the news, social media, all that stuff is always going to put the bad out there because it gets your attention. But no one focuses on the good. And I said, there's way more good in this world than there is bad. And he just said, man, he's like, this blows my mind. It's like never happens. And he's like, I'm glad that this happened. I needed this. And we just said, I just told him, I hope you have a good day. I hope it all works out. And I drove off. It took him back, and it made him think, dang, there is good in this world and there's not bad. And it made me think, because he said all that, man, there is more good than bad, and I need to focus on that and not the bad comments on videos and Facebook and all this stuff, and people trying to take advantage of what I've built up, and they don't want to get to know me. I can't focus on that. I can't focus on the bad stuff. There's way more good. Well, then I went to the gas station to fill up the gas tanks, and this was probably a couple of weeks ago. I went there and I was with Jared. Jared was sitting in the car, and I was filling up the gas tanks, and this gentleman walked out of the store, or was walking with the bag, big old trash bag, and he was filling the trash, or digging through the trash and putting stuff in the bag. And I didn't know if he worked there. I truly thought he was just like maybe picking out cans to collect or something. And so I kind of just like watched, and I saw that he at that point was putting more than just cans. He was just taking the trash out because it was overflowing and it was on the ground, and he was doing this. And I looked and I saw all the trash cans just overflowing. And so just something in me, you can just tell he wasn't having a good day. And so I got in the car, and I grabbed my wallet, and Jared kind of looked at me, and I got back out and I walked up to him, and I gave him a little cash. It wasn't much, but I just walked up. I said, I know you don't know me, but I saw you over here working hard, and that's a very rare thing these days. Not a lot of people are willing to work, and especially work for what they want. And the fact that you're out here doing what most people won't, I wanted to give you this. Maybe you can buy a drink or, some dinner or whatever you want to spend it on. And I said, I want to do this for you because it's just, there's not a lot of people out there willing to work for what they want. They want a handout, and you're out here working. And he was just like, oh, man, like, dang, man. And he reached his hand. He said, what's your name? And I was like, my name's Jason. And fortunately, I don't remember his name. I'm terrible with names. But he said, man, I appreciate that. Like, you just like was kind of taken back. And we left, and Jared's like, what'd you do? And I told him the stuff, and so he left. Well, today, when I got done with pumping gas, I went inside and I bought the drink. And he looked at me, he's like, oh, hey, man. And this was a couple weeks ago. And he said, man, what's your name again? And I said, Jason. He said, dang, hey, man, how you doing? Like, hope you've been having an awesome day and all this stuff. And he's like, how, just how's it been going? I said, man, it's been going this heat, I got to, go work out, out in it. So he asked, he's like, what do you do? I said, well, we bought a ranch, and, we're out, doing stuff with animals and all that. And I said, building a little tiny house right now. He said, man, maybe one of these days I got to go out there and work with you. Got to go out there and help you out. And he's like, man, I hope you have a good day, Jason. And that like took me back. And I was just like, dang, I didn't think he remembered me. And much less, like, it felt like we actually knew each other at that point. And he remembered me enough to, to like have the conversation and everything. And that felt freaking awesome. And when I walked out, like, I just felt really good. He's like, man, have a good day, Jason. Have a good day. And it felt good to know that someone out there appreciated what you did for them. And it got me thinking too, you know, both these gentlemen, they weren't the same color skin. They didn't look anything like me. They didn't dress anything like me. Here I am just in some boots, and normally I just have a cut-off shirt and I got tattoos, and these gentlemen didn't look anything like me. And the two gentlemen were complete opposites as well. One had a really nice truck, the guy that was at Tractor Supply, and the other one, you know, honestly at the time I didn't know, you know, if he was working or not or whatever. And it just proves that no matter your background, no matter, you know, your skin color, what you believe as far as religion or politics or what you do for a living, good is good and bad is bad. And there's people out there that are going to take advantage of you, and there's people out there that will use you and not care at all about you. And those will be people that you think are closest to you for the most part. But then there's people out there that if you put good into the world, they recognize it and they'll remember it. And it helps all of us, I guess, remember that there's way more good in this world than there is bad. And I just felt like I wanted to tell this story and put it out there to you guys, because I know a lot of you guys are probably going through the same thing. You probably feel used and abused. You probably feel like your own friends and family might be taking advantage of you or treating you bad, or at your work, or people might, you know, you might think, oh, people don't like me because the color of my skin, or that I'm religious, or that I'm not religious, or because of my politics. Only shitty people are like that. And at one point, I was like that, and that's why I feel like I could talk about this. I never cared about skin color or religion, but at one point I was like, oh, politics, you know, this, oh, if you look like this, or whatever it may be, you know, the way you dressed. I'm not perfect, and I've you know, I've definitely had, you know, if you guys have watched for years, you guys know that I had my slump, and I didn't treat people the best, and, you know, things like that. But if we focus on the good, and we just, when people treat you bad or use and abuse you or whatever it may be, just try to ignore them, because there's way more good in this world, way more good. And today was a huge reminder that of that, and I'm glad it happened, because I kind of let things get to me over time, and I didn't want to get on YouTube, or I wanted to kind of quit getting on YouTube and posting videos as much, and all that is kind of, you know, getting this weird funk. And getting off YouTube and leaving here and going into town and meeting people in real life and people I don't know, it just restored my faith. And it's an awesome feeling, and I think this story could relate, and you guys can relate with it. And I don't know. I just felt like I should talk about this, and there's definitely more good than bad. I'll just say that. And I hope anyone that's going through anything, or, you know, maybe feel like they're, you know, going through the same thing, there's a lot more good in this world. So don't focus on the bad. Try not to focus on it. And yeah, that's pretty much my story and how my morning went, so I figured I'd share it to you guys. I know it's a little different. I didn't talk about building or doing stuff around here, but that was just on my heart, I guess. But I got to get building. I got to get this going. You guys will want to see the video on Monday of what all is done. I don't think it's going to look like this anymore. I'm hoping windows, doors, roof, everything completely dried in to be awesome. That's my goal, so I'm going to try to do that. But hope you guys have an awesome day. And just remember, there's way more good in this world than bad, and we all need to focus on that. So hope you all have a good one.